Intel tasked me with building an affordable build around their new GPU, the Intel Arc, and I said, okay, let's find out how that went right here on Robeytech. First off, I want to thank you so much, Intel, for sponsoring this video. Very excited about this. I really like the build that I've put together. It's not only is it going to look good, but it'll also play well. And that's the hope today, is we're going to showcase the PC, open a very special edition A770, and at the same time also basically show you how this will perform afterwards, both thermally and with some games. Let's start first with the parts. Whoa. I like walked over to it and it lit up on me. That was weird. I did not know it did this. Oh, there's buttons on the back. Okay, whoa, oh, okay. It's an i7-12700K. Really appreciate that. Not using that. Yes, there it is. The Intel Arc A770 limited edition GPU. Now, the reason I'm really stoked about this is the one with all the RGB. So the A750 doesn't have all the cool RGB. This is the first part. So there's our Intel Arc A770. We are actually going to be using the Core i5-13600K. Because it's 13th gen, it will work in a Z690. So we're going to be using an NZXT Z690. So we're going to be using the new T120 RGB air cooler from NZXT. And we're also going to be adding the second F120 fan to this. We're going to be adding one more F120p RGB fan up at the top to make sure that it looks super clean. We're also using Intel Blue. This is Team T-Force T-Group. This is 3600 megahertz, so we're gonna have total of 32 gigs of RAM. We got some storage from WD Blue, again, Blue. So we got the SN570, this is a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. Our power supply, which is 750 watts. This is the NZXT C750 Bronze PSU. We've got two sets of cable extensions from Asia Horse. One is purple and one is blue and black. And then lastly, for our case, to make sure we have all the airflow for air cooling and at the same time also look nice and fly, we've got the NZXT H5 Flow. This is a brand new case from NZXT. It's got the additional fan at the bottom for air cooling, and for the most part, we'll end up with a very, very clean looking build that is easy to use. So there is our build. Now, get ready for the montage. Okay, well, the PC is done, and I've spent a good number of days just spending time making sure that I could give you the best information about this little beauty and the PC we built, and you know, just giving you a good idea of what you get and how it would perform once you got the PC completed, right? And that's one of the things you always want to know, right? And so I'm going to start off with thermals because, again, one of the reasons I chose like the H5 Flow was specifically because I wanted to be able to talk about thermally where things were. Now a couple things. One, you need to make sure that when you're finished with your PC, you go into the BIOS, which you're seeing right here, you go down and you make sure that you click on that air cool. That air cool thing is actually really important. This is telling the CPU that you are cooling via an air cooler. Now this is a great air cooler. Again, we're trying to minimize the amount of work that you're gonna need, and at the same time brings the cost down over if something like an AIO. So what we're gonna do is just make sure that the CPU doesn't do anything to push itself over the cooling capacity that you are gonna have for this particular PC. What's important though is that from a temp standpoint, if you were gonna test the absolute worst case, and that means running something like Cinebench, which you're never gonna do. I mean, all in all, most of you guys are just here to run games. That's why you might look at a system like this. Then you're gonna be seeing your temps basically sitting in the 60s, and maybe it might hit 70 now and then, which is completely fine and totally normal. And if you kept it on the AO setting and you forgot to do this, this wouldn't even be a problem for gaming either. It's just sometimes people like to feel elitist, and they freak out when they see high temps. It's well within the capabilities of the PC to be able to run at high temperatures without any issue whatsoever. And all in all, when you're gaming, you're never gonna have thermal throttling issues whatsoever if you were to build a system like this. So other thing for this system is obviously you wanna run Windows 11, because some of the stuff that comes with, specifically for Intel at 13th gen is things like the thread director, and there's a lot of integrations for Windows 11. So all of the games that I've tested and everything I've done are all under the assumption that you're gonna be running Windows 11. We went through a number of games. I played them quite a bit. So first and foremost, I have like my usual suspects, and from those I pulled, if you ever watched any of my case reviews or anything like that, I pulled from there. I pulled Tomb Raider, and I went ahead and pulled Cyberpunk 2077, and those are great games, and I tested both games at 1080p and at 1440p. I also wanted to do Elden Ring because it's becoming such a popular game. We had DLC recently, and you know, it's just one of those games that people want to know, hey, there are people who build PCs just around this level to be able to play Elden Ring, and I want to make sure that you guys can play that as well. I wanted to test like Intel titles specifically, so looking at things with XeSS. Now, Tomb Raider does include XeSS, but something new, I checked out Gotham Knights, which, it's funny enough, I didn't know I'd like as much as I did, and then I ended up playing it for well over the time that I needed to actually get this video done, so it's worth checking out, and then we'll talk about performance of that. And then again, I wanted to show you a little MP. Right now, Apex Legends is just finished starting its new season. We just had a new hero, so I thought, you know what, let's throw some Apex Legends in there, and then and we'll kick that off. That'll be a good smattering of games to get you an idea of how a system like this might perform using with Intel Arc, the A770, and at the same time pairing that with a 13600K. So kicking it off, Tomb Raider, and this is with XeSS, and I'll talk a little bit about, for those who don't know, XeSS is one of the benefits that you get with Intel Arc. XeSS is Intel's version of what's called DLSS, or deep level super sampling, from NVIDIA, or FSR from AMD. And so this is Intel's version. It's super sampling done in the same way. And what it does is it gives you a big boost in your performance, while at the same time not having you have to upgrade PC. So it's almost like giving your fighter just an extra bit of adrenaline that just makes them being able to fight and punch above their weight class. So with the XeSS on, for Tomb Raider, you're looking at 163 frames per second at 1080p, and then when we jump it up to 1440p, you're looking at 150 frames per second. Now that is fantastic given the price of this card, and at the same time just really, really good. Now I talked a little bit about XeSS. You're like, well, what if you turned XeSS off, Robey? How would that look? Well, you'd look at it about 143 frames per second. So you're getting, and that's at 1440p. So you're getting about 7 or 8 average frame per second boost using XeSS versus not. Let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077, because this is one of those games that, you know, a lot of people want to run, and the question is, Robey, can I play Cyberpunk 2077 using this Intel Arc A770 Special Edition PC that you put together? Well, at the absolute best settings, we're talking about the absolute highest settings with ray tracing on Ultra, basically using FSR 2.1. We're looking at 34 frames per second at 1440p, solid. And then if you were gonna play at 1080p, you're looking at 41 frames per second, which is fantastic. You're getting the best Cyberpunk experience you can in terms of graphically. And then again, if you want to get it down to that 60 frames per second, you could totally do that just by dropping some of the settings or even removing ray tracing, and then you would absolutely be able to do 60 frames per second using the Intel Arc A770. Let's talk about Elden Ring, because Elden Ring is an interesting game, but I love Elden Ring. Elden Ring is such a great title. It's one of those games that's almost hit a legendary status recently. Absolutely stunning, beautiful open world Souls game. It's locked at 60 frames per second. So the important thing to know is if I set the highest preset, can I get 60 FPS using our Intel Arc A770 H5 build? And the answer is yes. Both at 1440p and at 1080p, you're getting a solid 60 frames per second at the highest possible graphical setting, and it runs with no issue whatsoever. I got half an hour in the game, had no problems whatsoever, and stuck at 60 FPS without any issue, which is beautiful. Now, lastly, that Gotham Knights game, before I get into an MP, but Gotham Knights, you know, a brand new game just recently released. Beautiful, I have to say, like beautiful open world Batman games. I was a little surprised at the very beginning of the game. No spoilers though, but both at 1440p and at 1080p, not a ton of difference. 1080p, we got a little bit better at 75.8 frames per second. When we jump up to 1440p, that only drops by 2 to 73.7, and that is using Intel's XeSS and everything at the highest preset, but ray tracing off, so no ray tracing on in that game at all. And then lastly, if you want to play some Apex Legends, you're wanting to get into that, you know, you're getting to be a tryhard. That's why the whole reason you wanted to pick this up and jump on in. Apex Legends at 1440p, low visual settings, again, optimizing for competitive, you're looking at 68 frames per second, and then at 1080p, you can get up to 72. So well within north of 60, but you know, if you're looking for that super competitive, a super competitive level, you may look at games like Valorant or at Fortnite. Those are probably going to be more akin to those greater than 100 frames per second. Unfortunately, I can't test every game on the planet. I wish I could, but those were the games that I tested. So the final part of this video, now that we've done, is Robey, then why Intel Arc? And what is it about Intel Arc that had you go ahead and do this sponsored video with the folks at Intel? And there's a couple things. One, XeSS, and then the fact that the price is just, it's so good. It's a great price, especially for modern day gaming, right? Which is the part that's super important. So games like Elden Ring, Gotham Knights, Modern Warfare 2, all of these games are playable, and Intel is working with those teams to help them ensure that the Intel Arc is a viable graphics card should you put it inside of your system. Now, the other thing that's absolutely worth mentioning is the Intel Arc control, which you can see I have right here, which again, we talked a little bit about those game drivers. There's your game on drivers right there, and easily the ability to download them. Here you can see all the games that I have installed, and then again, you can modify and change the individual settings for each one if you really wanted to. You've got your performance monitor, so if you want to do your live performance monitoring, and then there's other stuff for streaming, simple streaming, all that sort of stuff, which is also included, not to mention that you also get the AV1 codec. Now, the last thing I want to talk a little bit is this thing called the Deep Link technology, which is where which is why we paired our Intel Arc A770 with a 13th gen for this particular build, and that's the Deep Link. And that's basically, the thing is that it can smartly take tasks, whether that's rendering tasks, potentially game tasks, etc., and load balance those between the two devices dynamically. And it's one of the benefits of having an all Intel system, which is why we chose all Intel parts as part of the build that we overall did. So yeah, I mean, there is a lot to look forward to. The future is bright, and literally so is the RGB on this card. But I hope, guys, I really do hope that you learned a lot today. Like, not only did you learn a really great and visually beautiful build to build with your Intel Arc A770 and the parts that we did in partnership with Intel, but also that at the same time, you can also find that once you're done building that PC, what you've built is a great gaming rig that runs at great temperatures and that plays the games that are now out now and that will be out in the future in a compelling way, both at 1080p and at 1440p. And Intel is working doubly hard to ensure that with XeSS and the price, that this is going to be a card that will live on for years to come. Well, that is it for this video, and I absolutely would love to have your feedback down in the comments below. You know, a couple of questions that come to mind is what would you have liked to have seen better with this particular build? Is there stuff that you were okay with? What did you think about the price? And then at the same time, if you were going to upgrade the PC, what would be some of the upgrades? And then visually, did you like our color choices and everything like that? Now let us know all of that down in the comments below. Now while you're down there, you see that like and subscribe button? Go ahead and, you know, just tap it. You know, just arc your hand over, see what I did there, and just click that button. And while you're at it, ring that notification bell so you get a notification when we post videos just like this on this channel all the time. Lastly, if you want to follow and find more content like this, or even when we do a V2 of this build, which we're actually going to be absolutely doing, which is an upgraded version of this, you can check that out as well. Follow us over at Robeytech Live over on YouTube, youtube.com/Robeytech Live, or check it out when we do it live over at twitch.tv/Robeytech Live. Do you have questions about this? If you want to learn more about the Intel Arc or the Arc systems, or just talk about the features and builds, and head over to our Discord server, discord.gg/Robeytech. We have other like-minded individuals who'd love to have these conversations and talk to you about this stuff. And at the same time, you might end up making a friend. Also, you know what? We post all sorts of content, like when we unbox the Intel Arc for the first time. You can check that out over on Instagram or over on TikTok, which you know we are. We're at Robeytech absolutely everywhere. Anyway, guys, that's it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye, guys.